on Tuesday. They would be hoping that those melodies would be ringing out tomorrow at the Olympic Stadium. It was not to be, but there is still business to take care of for Always Gold. They have to potentially settle for bronze. Fourth place still a possibility as we introduce you to a Ghana side that have made just a solitary change to the 11 that began their semi-final against Morocco over the course of the group stages. Very few changes. Princess Marco drops to the bench, having started the last three. Alice Kuti comes in to take her place. So that means that 5 players who have started and finished all 5 of their games so far. Let's see. Goalkeeper, Sithe Conlon, Susan Dua, Grace Santewa, Comfort Yavoa, and Portia Wake. So there has been an awful lot of consistency for this Black Queen side. Didn't make a single change from the Algeria game to the Morocco match, the quarterfinal to the semi-final. And as mentioned, just that single alteration today. Another woman in charge is the 35-year-old Tahenda Al-Makrabi from Egypt, who is actually in charge of South Africa's quarterfinal against
Ghana.
And she's familiar with so many of these players from the Champions League. We've seen a few Mamelodi Sundowns matches in the past. In terms of our VAR, Nahlu Ben Braham and Pierre Atto in the control room. As we look at a South African team that have made 5 changes. Tatiso Makubela is injured. She came off in the previous game. Obeka Gamede dropped into defense from midfield where she started last time out. Fullbacks Karabo Dlamini and Fikile Magama have been ever present up till now. They sit out. Novenepe moves from midfield and Malweni comes in to take those fullback positions. Rabiu Ejani is on the bench, having started the 5 previous games. Salgado out. She just underwent a successful surgery. Nakolo Methani earns a 3rd start. Nathanta Pandi and Regina Pagala are into the 11 for the first time, having made cameos off the bench so far. And Hilda Magai is restored to the lineup. South Africa clad in their all green, with Ghana as the designated home team for today's match, wearing the yellow strip. There's a fair amount of familiarity in terms of the 2 lineups from match day 1 with a couple of alterations. And you wonder if revenge will be on the mind of Ghana. They've never lost a 3rd place match. The 3 previous instances that they fought for bronze, including against South Africa 9 years ago, they did win. Banyana are hoping to win a medal for a 3rd tournament in succession as we get underway here in Casablanca. What a privilege for me to be joined by 4-time WAFCON winner, Desire Obranozi, who spoke briefly prior to this game about what it takes to get yourself mentally right for a 3rd place match. As Banyana looked to strike early, slipped in there by Sipa Senwe for Hilda Magai. Bright starts.
Yeah, it's a very good start. I mean, this will tell you the mindset of the Banyana coming into this game. They haven't lost the chance to defend the title against Nigeria. They lost against Nigeria. So this will actually be, a consolation prize for them if, they get to win the bronze medal.
So in our picture, Lars Kim Jokogren, a 43-year-old Swede, who's now been in charge of this side for about half a year, 7 months or so. In stark contrast to Desiree Ellis. First in an interim capacity back in 2016 and permanently in 2018. She's been at the helm for many years as Motlano lets fly. That one bending away from goal. She has struck twice in this tournament, but both from the penalty spot. Such a settled defence that Banyana had up till this point, barring really.
Please click on the subscribe button and subscribe.
Against Tanzania, where there was a change in goal with Caleb Swart coming in for Andile Dlamini and Nomtama Mhlongo in for Tseto Makubela. But from match day 3 was that back line restored to the way it looked against Ghana in that opening match, and it's continued like that through the quarters and the semi-finals only today, as the coach tinkered for a variety of reasons, and it does look quite a bit different. But there is one player who remains that's been impeccable, Mamelodi Mbane, who has played every single second of their campaign up to this point. Says Banyana give it away really cheaply, but recovering well is Ogalola. Teammates previously of Mbane with Mamelodi Sundowns. She was released at the beginning of this past season and has revived her club career with JVW. She was perhaps one of the surprise inclusions at the beginning of this tournament, having been out of the national team set up for 7 years. Here she is on the ball. Misplaces that pass, very capable of playing in defence, although she is only gravitated towards more midfield-oriented positions over the past few years. Desiree Ellis, 4-time CAF Women's Coach of the Year, watching on. She has the silver and the gold, now looking to win the bronze as coach of Banyana. Banyana, Hilda Magaya cleverly works it through there to Esani. Dispossessed on the flank. As Ghana look for an outlet. Retrieved by Motlalo in the midfield. Weni being deployed as the left fullback today. Ramalepe, the right fullback, a position she's incredibly accustomed to, although her quote-unquote understudy, Magama, the heir to her right back throne, has been playing in that position over the course of the tournament whilst she takes a more advanced role. How do you potentially see such a reshuffle at the back affecting this Banyana team, as we confirm for you that Magaya was indeed offside?
Well, I mean, the change is not surprising to me. You know, I haven't seen Lepe back into the defense as against playing offensively against Nigeria. I mean, that's her original position, and seeing her back there, it's not a surprise to me. And I mean, we could say more or less like they want to, toughen up their defense and make sure the attack of the Ghanaian forwards don't get past them.
An opportunity today for the first time in Banyana's WAFCON history to keep 4 clean sheets at a tournament. And of course, prior to 2022, there were only 5 available games to do so, but with the addition of the quarter-final stage, means that if you advance deep into the tournament and get to the semi-finals, you will play 6 matches, but nonetheless, opportunity for a little bit of national team history if they can shut the back door here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, that shows how they've improved defensively, and the likes of Dlamini, who have made some of the most saves as a goalkeeper in this tournament. I mean, last year she handled the crown of the best goalkeeper in Africa alongside Chiamaka Nnadozie. I mean, this just proves to show how much of a good goalkeeper she is.
She, along with many of her teammates, visibly shaken though by the injury to Gabriela Salgado late in the game against Nigeria that happened right in front of them, and very well may have been a contributing factor to conceding that goal in stoppage time as Ghana now look to find a breakthrough. Kusi spins, crosses, is convinced that the call should go her way, but they signal a goal kick. Brought into the lineup today, Alice Kusi, hails from Paki in the Ashanti region, currently playing her football at Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. Very lucrative for both men's and women's players these days. A more than capable goal scorer, especially during her time in Jordan. Asantewa lays it off. Asantewa hit a terrific shot in that matchday 1 encounter that really tested Dlamini Botha to sprawl across goal and make a one-handed save. And it was from miles out as well. Packs a terrific shot. Can't locate my guy up. Kusi has to just lift the ball in behind, shielded back to Dlamini by Mungeka Gamede. Ninth meeting in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations between these two sides. First crossed paths all the way back in 1998. Ghana were among the more dominant forces in the early iterations of the competition. They thrashed South Africa by 4-0 in a Group B encounter in Nigeria. At South Africa, in the next edition, got their revenge. It was in 2000, the tournament that they hosted. Managed to see them off in Vosloorus by 1-0 in the semi-final. Oh, burst of pace from Mamelane Mak. Getting more show on the ball now. Corona, who put a few passes astray in the opening minutes of this game. Fighting hard, winning the ball initially in Dundee, but Ghana have it back in the centre of the park to Jennifer Kujo. Tenacity being shown in those central areas.
Yeah, you could see the physicality in that middle between Asantewa and Mokolola. So, I mean, it's expected the likes of Asantewa and Kujo, that's what they do in the middle for Ghana. They try to physically deal with, opponents.
Back here to Vale. Gamede as well to avoid that danger. 26-year-old is playing a football for Deutschland in Denmark. Locating to the south. Nudged off the ball, gets the throwing call in her favour. The big Swede, Kim Bjorkegren, dwarfs Desiree Ellis when they are alongside one another. She's slowly building his reputation in women's football. Spent a few years coaching Racing Louisville in the United States, South America. Of course, the NWSL has always been known to be very competitive. Using out to Dole Bodua. Powerful figure in the front line for this Black Queen side. Just tumbling down. 24 years of age now, born in Titiman, and one of many African players playing in the Mexican League. She's with FC Juarez. So, today Supercelo was playing before moving on to Monterrey, one of the more powerful clubs in the division. Rocket hunks it forwards, and Andile Dlamini happy to just let that one whiz past her goal.
Yeah, it's an easy goal. So I'm sure that's a relief for her, for that one not to have come on target.
Trying to have a slight edge across the 8 previous meetings these two sides have had. So South Africa with that for a kick, 4 wins, South Africa with 3. There's been 1 draw. That was a Group B encounter in Windhoek in Namibia back in 2014. And this is also the 4th time that they're meeting beyond the group stages. I already touched on 2000's semi-final. In 2006, Ghana got their revenge in the last 4 as they won 1-0 in the semi-final, and they had previously contested a 3rd place game. That was back in 2016, 9 years ago, in Yaoundé, Cameroon, and it was Ghana with a 1-0 win. So they also have not only an overall edge, but an edge in games subsequent to the group stages as they apply a little bit of pressure here through Alice Kusi. Digs out across brilliantly, and then that one has been forced over the top. It was a wonderful opportunity, the best of the game so far. Dole Bodua will feel as though she should be doing a lot better with that.
Oh well, what an opportunity that is, and great work from Kusi. I mean, she's had a very brilliant game since this tournament. She's Ghana's top scorer with 2 goals. What a work she did there, and then for Bodua to have blown that away, I mean that's unforgivable. Best chance so far.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. The Mamelodi Sundowns players present in the back line will be very familiar with her, although they were able to shut her out back in 2021, the inaugural edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. Her Hasaka's ladies met Sundowns in the final in Cairo. Sundowns 2-0 winners, but she was the top scorer in that tournament. Also, the following year, based on her performances, in that largely those performances, was nominated for Interclub Player of the Year, Player of the Year, and Young Player of the Year. And she's a fine talent, and yeah.
She is indeed a fine talent. She's a threat, no doubt. You know.
Strength to great effect. Here's Jennifer Kutro. The veteran plays in the squad, 31 years old, born in Accra. start to her Black Queen's career. South Africa now find themselves in possession, but with a player down, halt will be called to the proceedings. Shahenda Al-Maghrabi going over to check on Bouakia, was indicating that she took an elbow to the face.
Well, it doesn't look like it. It looks like she ran into the hand.
Referee Al-Maghrabi actually awarded South Africa a penalty against Senegal in the quarterfinals, and after an incredibly long review with, to be honest, not all too much to go on in order for her to change her on-field decision. She did indeed alter her opinion and overturned the penalty decision. Can't slide the ball through on Tlhotlo Mtandi. Skews off the boot to Cynthia Conlon. She gets away with that one. The 22-year-old is playing for Sui in Malta, of all places. Takes a whip to the toe as Mani uncharacteristically gives this away to Toyshloka. Now with Bouakia, back to Conlon. Made her debut early in 2023 against Benin. It's Ghana's goalkeeper. Incredibly highly rated, where she plays her club football in Malta 2 seasons back. Goalkeeper of the season, and also earned a loan move to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. Situation for her. 11th cap that she's earning today, going as a sub against Ghana and then against Mali, where she hit double figures in terms of appearances. South Africa clear their lines and look to play out neatly from the back. Hasn't quite gone to plan. Ghana re-establish control here. Kujo rides a challenge. Space for Alice Kusi to work here. Measures a good cross in. Linda Motlana. Probably close control initially and then giving the ball away. Fires in a shot, does Odua. Dwayne Super hasn't seen an awful lot of it. It is Banana Swan song this evening. Super prior to the tournament announcing her intention to retire. She just won the Prosera element of Liga MX Feminine in Mexico with Monterrey. Gets to rub shoulders with Sergio Ramos. Could be worse things than that. Played great football as well.
Of course, I mean, she's been a great striker, and this been her last international outing.
She stabbed it through brilliantly here for Magaya. And there are several players in the box now as the cross comes in. Initially not well handled, but Cynthia Conlon with it in her grasp now.
Yeah, talking about Sophie Silver, she's had a great tournament, coming all the way with Bayana to play the third place game, and she's been very vital for her. She wants to end her career with Bayana with the silverware, and hopefully that happens for her today.
Odua using her strength up against Gamede. And she's managed to force the corner here. That's a pretty good result, considering that she's still waiting for some reinforcements to arrive. Something of this. We have 4 corners against Morocco in their semi-final match. Right here. That's a decent take, and it's just past the uprights. Well, the best 2 chances of the game by far have belonged to the Black Queens.
Yeah, I mean, the Black Queens are throwing in everything. That was a good ball and a good contact from Kusi, but the direction wasn't there. They should have, returned that ball the same way it came, all in all, you see Ghana, giving South Africa pressure. They haven't really allowed them to play out from their house. They just keep giving them pressure.
A little flick. Dlamini felt compelled to try and put a glove on that, which she didn't. There will be a goal kick. Under pressure. Gets it out of her feet to Mane. Tandy Olwen looking for Maga. Tandy will pounce upon it. Another clear foul from Ramalepe, and she's playing hard. And the young Stiller.
Yeah, and to say Ghana's recovery rate when they are off the court has been very impressive in the last 10 minutes.
Oh, look at the early opportunity. Boy, sort of probably maybe not trying to score, just help the ball along, potentially to a teammate. Player who plays a football for London City Lioness, is actually born in Liverpool in England. Should have a flick there from Ntandi, and Motlala's done excellently. Olwen. Ramalepe to Kamete. There's Ramalepe again. 33 years old now. A debut came over a decade ago. And has earned 115 caps. Became a Centurion against Nigeria in last year's Olympic qualifiers. The game that ended 0-0. But ultimately they would go on to lose 1-0 on aggregate. Gotta have it again. Space for Kusi. Teasing on the way. Another good cross. Will be kept alive, so an opportunity to get it back in. Repelled by Gamede. And then from distance, struck by Asantewa. And as she did in the match day 1 encounter, testing Dlamini from distance, although it was a fairly routine save. She's one of the few players in the squad who are currently playing their top football in Israel.
Asantewa have really, dominated this midfield so far, and she's fighting for every ball, throwing everything on the line to make sure Ghana win those battles in the middle.
Despite the fact that she doesn't play in a forward role, 2 seasons in succession a few years ago, she was top scorer, and it's a decent ball. That will result in a corner here. Opportunity to fling one in. South Africa have dealt with an aerial bombardment up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, Ghana keep bringing in those aerial balls, giving them pressure, and so far they've been contesting for every ball, going head to head with Ghana to make sure they keep those aerial balls away from them. And it looks like that's Ghana's game plan, and they've really done so well bringing that game to them. And South Africa on their own end have dealt with this so far. They've done very well dealing with those aerial balls.
Well, there's a feeling among some Ghanaians following their tournament opener that Ghana could have felt a little aggrieved not to have come away with something from that game, especially considering that they were denied twice by the woodwork. They've had 5 shots already in this match to South Africa's 2. And Little Motlalo has just been dispossessed. Jennifer Kuta looking for an option. Naked. Turns it back and field for Wadua. Little Motlalo has stayed down, which is why the match referee has decided to stop play. Very experienced official. We're seeing her 3rd match at this tournament here.
Okay, it looks like there's a need to hack out or something.
Fans in the building.
Yes, sir. Don't follow my mom. Go aeroplane. Yes. Go and finish. Can't do like
As Black Queen's side started a defeat to South Africa and then picked up a point against Mali. They were bottom of Group C, going into match day 3, but absolutely thrashed Tanzania to actually move above Mali, who had been hit for a bit smaller 4-0 by South Africa. That meant Ghana faced Algeria in the quarterfinals, and it was Mali forced to go to Rabat, where they took on the hosts. Adila Dlamini also struggling at the moment. Kenyan Swags making sure that should she be called upon, she's ready to go. Dlamini is up at the moment. Unbelievable career she's had at national team level and club level. Goalkeeper at the Women's Champions League, 2021, and then followed that up. The goalkeeper of the tournament is in 2022 WAFCON. All just a year or so after having overcome a heart condition. And she's intent on giving back to the next generation. She currently holds a D license in South Africa. And been working with youth players. Ball forward, cut out. Adila Dlamini as well as Mbani and Mtandu all started today. Did start that 2021 Champions League final as Christy digs out a cross, which was dealt with by a South African club woman. And Bordua was striker for Nafaka's ladies as well. There's Evelyn Badu played that day. She started, she's on the bench today for the national team. So when you play at a very high level on the continent, at club level, you're likely to cross paths with players that you will meet again then at international level.
Definitely. I mean, that's what happens when you play regularly on the continent. I mean, thanks to the likes of Champions League, and hasn't been long that started, but at least we started playing it on the continent. So that's a growth for women's football in Africa.
Someone like Mulroney, for example, making that challenge has experienced it with UWC. Interesting statistic in matches between these two sides at the Women's African Cup of Nations. 7 of the 8 games have produced a winner, and in every single one of those instances, the losing side has not scored. The only game that's seen both teams score was in 2014, in their group match in Namibia. But the bigger victories, although many of them quite some time back, have belonged to Ghana, 3-0 in 2004, 4-0 in 1998. And South Africa beat Ghana 2-0 on match day 1. It was the first time that they had managed a victory over them at the WAFCON by more than a solitary goal. First time they ever scored more than once in any WAFCON game against Ghana.
I mean, there's been great history between them. They are familiar for, and I mean, today is the next chapter.
Low crossing, straight at Dlamini. Comfort Yeboah making tracks from a little deeper to deliver that one in. Just 18 years of age, still plays in her homeland. For FM Darkoa ladies. As a supreme talent. Sipasenwe, despite turning on the afterburners, unable to latch onto that, but now gets it rather fortuitously. Mistake from Ghana at the back. Banyana looking to capitalize. Elder Magaya, short exclusive. Well. Still she goes battling on. Wadua with a clean tackle. Looking to set Spongebob on her way. Pinned across field by Gamete. Finding Sesane. Play continues. Hilda Makaya. And Conlon there first, ahead of Jermaine Sipasenwe. cap number 112 this evening to Manchester Fenway as she says goodbye to the national team.
According to her, she says, I mean, it's important to return home with a medal as it bids farewell to Banyana. And winning this tonight will actually mean so much for her.
Without a doubt. Her debut came back in 2010. Still a teenager then. Finally earned her 100th cap in February of 2024 with the qualifier against Tanzania. And as she pointed out in yesterday's press conference, football has taken her places she could never even have dreamed of. She's played in the United States, she's played in Lithuania, Portugal, Spain, and now enjoying life in Mexico, where they are by all accounts treated very well and pay decent money as well.
Of course, football is a driver for so much more, and it's unbelievable where the sports can actually take you.
Mariana was briefly in your shot. She's also playing her football in Mexico in 2021. Second team that South Africa will face, or are facing more than once in a third place playoff. With their 3 previous bronze medal matches, all against Cameroon. I will speak about this dynamic of a bronze medal match as Alice Busy finds herself with plenty of time to lift her head and try her best efforts to measure that into the area of uncertainty. Andile Dlamini was assured enough as she quickly got off her line to claim. Shortly down by Kamete. Tani. Olwen. Until the half-time break. Ramalefe has seized upon it. Tandy. Hassan. Oliver. Only one bronze medal match in WAFCON history across the 12 previous third-place playoffs has ended goalless. And Ghana were involved in that one. That was back in 2004 against Ethiopia, and to settle that on a penalty shootout. There's been 2 other bronze medal matches settled on penalties. That was when Cameroon were beaten by South Africa in 2006 after a 2-2 draw, and Nigeria in 2008, one of the very rare instances where they did not win the title, overcoming Cameroon on penalties after a 1-1 draw. But whilst Ghana have been involved in the only 0-0 bronze match, they also have the distinction of being involved in the highest scoring one, 6-3 win over Zimbabwe in 2000. For an option, and this cross almost breaks kindly to Chantal Fukuoka. Only debuted for Ghana very recently, only the 12th cap today. He has 3 goals for them. Such a switch of allegiance, but at 29 years of age, she wasn't really going to get a look in at the country of her birth, that being England. Can't hold the corner, and then sniffles it up at the second time of asking. Just a check whether Kamede had handled,
Yeah. But then that's a ball for bad ball handling from Dlamini. She should have dealt with that from the onset. But then good detention cover to deal with it at the end of the day.
Conlon caught in possession.
Go!
Well, Jermaine Siposenwe hassled and harried and brought kindly for Tandi, who still had to hold her nerve and get that one right. But she scores her 3rd international goal, stroking it into an open net.
I mean, as a goalkeeper, you don't punish your team like this. Ghana have done everything right up until this point, and then as a goalkeeper, you don't have any business doing that. I mean, clear the ball, play it out, whatever you have to do. That was a gift. That was a gift.
That's crazy. The goalkeeper fucked up. The goalkeeper fucked up full time. The goalkeeper fucked up full time.
Additional time, 3 minutes. الوقت الإضافي 3 دقائق.
Jermaine Siposenwe has gone down on the restart. Anything wrong with a cushioned pass back to the goalkeeper from Josephine Bonsu? It looked fairly good.
It was a good pass.
No extra zip on it. Yeah.
It was a good pass. I mean, it's all on the goalkeeper. It's all on her. That ball was good, and it's just impossible for you as a goalkeeper, the last defender of the team. You should, do everything to make sure you deal with the mistakes of your defender and not you being the problem of the team.
Portia Buake is just standing by to offer her hand to Jermaine Siposenwe. She's the one that booted the ball into her face. Buake in mid-30s now. She's another that plays her football in Israel. She and Siposenwe both debuted back 15 years ago now.
Look at that again. It's impossible to make this silly mistake.
And there's a toe on that from J12, is there not? So going down as an assist on a final international game?
Definitely.
Cool.
The goalkeeper fucked up, I swear. The goalkeeper fucked up.
Ramalepe, out so clear. Control, lovely control. Sipse. Ramalepe. 3 minutes of injury time have almost elapsed here, but potentially one last opportunity for the side that trail. It's a good ball for Kus.
Guys, please drop your prediction. Drop your prediction.
Into space. Kudro.
What a game Kusi has been having, you know. On this right flank, she's been winning 1v1 against Weni. I mean, it's been a mismatch between them. So far, she's really done well.
Israelis has been such a big part of this Panyama story as both a player and a coach. Super Center has kept it in. That's all given away. 4 minutes beyond the 45. Flag goes up. And the effort wide of the mark in any case. Audacious, but pretty clever thinking.
Yeah, it was a clever thinking. Looked at the goalkeeper, she's off her line, and
I think he's after him now. It's after him now.
There is a look at that moment. Pretty easy for the near side assistants. Yeah, Atif, also like the referee in charge from Egypt. And after 45 minutes in this bronze medal match, it is South Africa who have the edge, leading by 1-0.
On Africa's biggest stage, it's going to take her to be at her best, and her to believe what's possible. It's going to take her to be the difference and her to unite a country. It takes her to be a hero. At the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, and we're here for every game of it, only on Supersport, here for her.
Across the globe, hoops are laced and the stage is set for a host of football friendlies to fire you up for the new season. 90 minutes to lay down a marker. Catch the Reds in action against the Rossoneri. Virgil van Dijk. Or settle in as Eddie Howe's troops face up to a sizzling Spanish challenge. Old English rivalries reunite, not for points, but pride, as Everton take on the Cherries and Man United face off with the Hammers. There's Spurs versus Newcastle and so much more in a feast of football friendlies only on your World of Champions. Tour on your World of Champions, proudly brought to you by MTN. What are we doing today?
For 9 electrifying seasons, the eye never blinked, because in this house, the cameras never miss. Season after season of extraordinary moments, of game plans, power moves that shook the house and were mad, that kept hearts guessing. Even then, you've seen nothing yet. This BB Nightcast Season 10. No filters, no scripts, no holding back. Cause it's 10 times the drama, 10 times the rivalry, 10 times the game. This is certified. No zero, no minus. Big Brother Just Season 10, Double Launch Weekend. Saturday and Sunday, 26th and 27th of July. Showing 247 on DSTV 198. Go TV 49. Go sponsor Guinness.
The semi-final lineup at the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations provided an all-star cast. With pedigree plenty in both fixtures, there quite literally was no room for error. It was defending champions against record champions, with Banyana Banyana and Nigeria renewing their rivalry with a place in the final on offer. The opening exchanges were tentative, but the Super Falcons looked more dangerous. Ayanda Dlamini was superb in denying Esther Okoronkwo before Tietsu Makubela headed clear and then blocked Chinwedu Eazuo's follow-up. Banyana were forced to reorganize after losing Makubela to injury midway through the first half, and with the break approaching, a handball in the area earned Nigeria a penalty. Captain Rashidat Ajibade stepped up to open the scoring. Banyana regained composure and belief with the resumption, and they soon earned a penalty of their own. Again, Linda Motlalo was the picture of composure. However, with the game in its final 10 minutes, a horrific injury to Gabby Salgado derailed the momentum, as players from both teams looked visibly distressed. Extra time loomed, and the Super Falcons dealt Banyana a very late killer blow.
Crossing from deep is a good looking one. Nigeria in injury time have re-established their lead.
2-1 the final score, while Banyana's reign as Queens of the Continent comes to an end. Mission X remains on track for Nigeria. There was an air of anticipation resonating from the stands at the Olympic Stadium in Rabat. Host Morocco looking for a second straight final appearance, while Ghana were reveling in the role of the underdog. With the partisan home crowd in full cry, the Black Queens weren't overawed and gave the Moroccan defense plenty to think about, and they deservedly took the lead 26 minutes into the contest.
Back in again, he has a great chance. Oh, it's a goal! No, yes it is! Ghana have scored. What a superb initial save, but the follow-up in the back of the net didn't cross the line before there was a touch.
The second half, however, saw roles entirely reversed, with Morocco dominating, and 10 minutes after the restart, the scores were levels.
And yes, Riley. It's a fresh real chance. And Riley squeezed in. It looks like Oslawi will claim it.
The pressure was relentless at both ends, with the search for a winner intensifying, but extra time was needed to decide the winner. Again, there were chances created for both teams, but none came to fruition in a semi-final as tense as they come. And after 120 minutes, penalties were needed to decide the winner. The first two spot kicks were flawless from both teams as players displayed superb composure. Morocco then went ahead as Kenza Chappelle stroked home their third, and the pressure proved too much for Evelyn Badu.
Evelyn Badu! She's missed. Huge roar as Morocco there in the lead.
Anissa Lakhmari then further strengthened the Moroccan grip before passage to the final was officially confirmed.
Yeboah needs to score. Yeboah saved. Morocco in the final. It's Morocco and Nigeria on Saturday to decide the Total Energies Cup Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Desperate, I think, for the Black Queens. They did so well tonight. But Morocco are through.
The Moroccan dream lives on, while Ghana will now battle the post champion South Africa for the bronze medal.
We are back, guys. We are back.
Africa Cup of Nations journey, and now approaching Monday in Morocco. Just 4 sides remain in contention to lift that stunning new trophy. It's currently the most compelling matchup in African women's football. The next chapter in this storied rivalry sees the top-ranked teams on the continent battle for a spot in the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations showpiece. The record winners Nigeria against the reigning champions South Africa as the quest for continental supremacy continues. I had to go off her line and Ndila Dlamini early on here, and she's very lucky to get that in her clutches. top. It's a one-on-one situation here. Four-star wide and Dlamini gets fingertips on it. Getting on the score sheet along with Hilda Magai, who's on the bench. Najibadi with a late consolation. There she is, pinging the ball forward. Excellently. Oh! Dlamini makes the save and the follow-up. Denied on the line by Makubela.
Wow, that was a good save from Makubela. Very, at the right place at the right time. Two saves almost at the same time.
Striding is India once again. Mane to the left. She did so illegally. Struck into the arm and the match referee hesitated for just a second before pointing to the spot. The responsibility to the captain. She has squeezed it under the body of Dlamini, who is more than capable of keeping the opponent out for a chance. This time around, Atletico Madrid star breaks the deadlock, and the Super Falcons are up and running. They draw first blood in the semi-final. It looked like Dlamini had control of the ball. Very worrying moment for South Africa. The referee says that now South Africa will have an opportunity to draw level from the spot. There's Hilda Magai going down. It's Linda Motlalo who will take it. Redemption perhaps for 2018, when she was tasked with taking the penalty that would have kept the shootout alive and had her spot kick saved up against the very same opponent. She goes the same way. This time it's a goal, and South Africa are back level. Hello, Z. Crossing from deep, it's a good looking one. Oh, it's gone in! Nigeria in injury time have re-established their lead. A deafening roar descending from the stands. Mission X is on for the Super Falcons. Final whistle goes. The Super Falcons are into the final. Their quest to regain the title continues, and it comes at the expense of their fiercest rivals over the last decade and the defending champions, Banyana. What a game! 2-1 it ends. Nigeria into the lead, wiped out by South Africa. 2 opening goals, both from the penalty spot, and then Michelle Nugget with a long-range goal to win the tie and dash the dreams of the defending champions.
On Europe's biggest stage, it's going to take her to lead from the front, and her to carry a country's hopes. It's going to take her to handle the pressure, and her to change the history of football. It takes her to be a hero at the UEFA Women's European Championship, and we're here for every game of it, only on SuperSport, here for her.
A new era has arrived, and it starts with a simple download. Get the new and improved My DSTV app, reimagined and upgraded to a whole new level. Download the new My DSTV app from your app store. across the globe. Boots are laced and the stage is set for a host of football friendlies to fire you up for the new season. 90 minutes to lay down a marker. Catch the Reds in action against the Rossoneri. Virgil van Dijk. Or settle in as Eddie Howe's troops face up to a sizzling Spanish challenge. Old English rivalries reignite, not for points, but pride, as Everton take on the Cherries and Man United face off with the Hammers. There's Spurs versus Newcastle and so much more in a feast of football friendlies only on your World of Champions.
Middle match. And
We are back, guys. We are back. We are back. Let's go.
2018 and we lost to Zambia in the bronze medal match 3 years ago. South Africa preparing to make a couple of changes here. And Mokoena, we're coming on, and it is for the goal scorer on Flatland, Sandy. Mokoena who did make a start against Tanzania. Hasn't seen all too much action at this tournament. And joining her on the park is Rufino Jane, who had started in every single game so far. Was kind of hooked up at half time against Tanzania. In fact, that's the only goals that she had made. Just see a couple of changes here from a Ghanaian perspective. And Kinsella Alubea coming on, along with Evelyn Madu. Unsurprising that the teams would refresh.
Share the live stream. Share the live stream. Share.
Reasons, but good to give players a run. Although in this instance, we're talking about players who, for the most part, have seen a lot of football at this tournament, with the exception of Mokoena. But the regular Banyana skipper is back on the park. Ramalepe, with ball in hand right now, has relinquished the armband and is back with Rufino Jane.
Yeah, of course, it's expected that we see the likes of Johnny in this game was important as the final match. So it's good that the captain of the side is back with her team, and I mean, it's expected to give a lot of players opportunity in games like this to showcase their skills and perhaps help the team.
Setting it back here, well, who squeezed past a couple of players and drilled the shot goalwards, but straight at Cynthia Conlon. Two players making way are two of the five that were introduced. Started this game, that being
Your mommy for deal now.
Can't link up with Mokoena, who I'm sure will be itching to show what she's capable. Bethlehem born forward Kamwinger, plays her football at TP Mazembe, DR Congo, and has enjoyed great success previously in Morocco. She's the current defending champions of the CAF Women's Champions League. TP Mazembe, who beat Al-Spa of Morocco in Al Jadida. defending that title last year. Confirmation for you that Wadua, who was culpable for probably the worst miss of the first half, having been set up beautifully by Anas Kusi, has made way. Motlala taking a blow to the face, and here's another look at the quick feet of Magaya, fired off a shot just a moment. Let's go. It's already surpassed 50 caps for the national team since her debut as a teenager back in 2019. Josephine Bonsu. Good recovery from Jennifer Kujo. Ramale intercepts. Here's Rafiro Jang. Now Linda Motlala. Motlakwana. Motlala. Ramale just took her eye off the ball there. And Jennifer Kujo very quick to close her down. Player out in Washington, DC Power FC. Two years ago, first earned her Ghana caps and is racking up her 21st tonight. Is Jennifer Kujo. This is promising. Anas Kusi stepping in as Mbane ahead of the substitutes. Arubea, 26-year-old, is playing at Abu Dhabi Country Club in the UAE after many years in the Ghana Premier League, where she was an absolute nightmare to deal with. Goal scoring prowess. Legendary. Ghana on the offensive again. That one straight just behind. Arubea has looked incredibly lively since arriving on the park.
Yeah, she has actually. There was a direct instruction for coming on and looking from how much pressure she's is coming on. You can tell that she really want to carry out some instructions and she's been impressive.
Johnny with the foul on Fotewa. Stint out in Spain with the Real Betis before opting for a move to Mexico 2 years ago, where football is at the very least comparable, and many believe better now in Mexico than it is in Spain's Liga F, the top flight. Motlakwana. kicking it away. Josephine Bonsu, easily dispossessed by Luna Motlano, was in promptly gone and given it away here. Motlano back in possession, still with Bonsu for company. Daniela insistent on playing this out from the back eventually. That's for a corner throw.
Talking about Diana playing from the back, that has been their game, since the start. Irrespective of how much pressure the Ghanaian side put on them, they have maintained, calm, and they have continued to possess the ball even in front of their goal, and they've gotten that 100% right each time they try to keep the ball and be patient in their ball circulation and possession.
Black Queens looking for that equalizer, and they do get a corner. If they were to equalize, they'll become the first team to contest 3 successive penalty shootouts at a WAFCON, although that particular statistic does have a little asterisk next to it because it's only been a possibility since 2022. Quarterfinals, semis, and then subsequently that either bronze or gold medal match. Going in and Washlock will keep it alive. Show great strength here. What's going on the outside and on her side. Another corner. Turn 30 in a couple of months. Solid work there with a procurator in the ladies 12 years back as she hoists this in. And not tremendously well cleared from a Banyana perspective. Now Makwana with an opportunity, find a route forward. She's given it away to Alice Kusi. Rolled into space here for Arubea. Stands up across and so close to leveling matters as the two substitutes sought to link up. Who's winning her 30th cap tonight, steering it wide of the mark by her head. Close.
What an effort.
Those sweater, yeah.
I know the South African players will know very, very well
They don't care.
for the impact that she had in the inaugural edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. It was 5 goals. It's put her as joint top scorer and actually the player of the tournament as she took us up ladies to the final. It's just moved from Fury in France to Molde in Norway as Evelyn Baru.
Everybody was nasty.
So return in terms of goal scoring for the substitutes, Evelyn Baru as a little bit concerning of Kamka Jeboa is unbelievable. As I said, 30th cap tonight, which he's scored at an average slightly over every 2 games. Or even if that review of going together between Esane and the teenager Yeboah.
Well,
I think Esane tried to avoid.
yeah, I think she was trying to avoid her, but then, you can't fly up that high and just looking up to her had something. I think it's nothing too serious for her.
2 years ago, Kamka Jeboa nominated for CAF Women's Young Player of the Year. Really influential in the CAF Women's Champions League in 2023. Got to the semi-finals with Mbim Darkoa. Scored from the spot against SC Casablanca. They're now coached by former Mamelodi Sundowns to Shabalala, newly appointed, and then missed in the penalty shootout the opening spot kick after a 2-2 draw. But to show that kind of a willingness to shoulder responsibility at 16 years of age is really admirable, and she does appear to be in some distress here. Nursing the side of her body, hip region,
Perhaps
maybe the knee against the ribs or something. And they should be able to come back on. Doesn't look like it at the moment.
So they operate a player short currently to Ghana. Josephine Bonsu dealing with that situation. She plays her football out in Germany in the Bundesliga. Surprising considering that she is born in Germany, in Berlin in fact. Pledge allegiance quite recently to Ghana as there's another coming together here. We've left 2 players down, Ramalepe and Chantal Boyfloka. The yellow card awaiting one of the players. I believe that was brandished in the direction of the...
That was a very wrong tackle.
Another change implemented. Yeboah not able to continue. So Anastasia Achia, 21-year-old, plays for Tel Aviv.
Get up, I will slap you. Come, get up.
Desiree Ellis publicly stating that after this tournament she'll take a little bit of time to herself and think about what the future holds for her. Women's Africa Cup of Nations returns to Morocco next year, March. Will double up his World Cup. Adds to the intrigue. Otlakwana brushed off that one. Looking to free a teammate, which she's done successfully.
No. If you collect that book from me, it will pay me. Hey,
Tucked away by Mamanani Mane. Recently installed at the beginning of this year.
live stream.
Your friend. At Ghana, many feel, at least considering how they've been not really quite up to their best, or at least their previous standards as a footballing nation, the women's side, to find themselves in the knockouts once again, having missed the previous edition, is good.
Yeah, it's a good return. I mean, between Ghana, Nigeria, and Cameroon, they used to be powerhouses back in the days. Missing out in the previous edition and coming back to finish as one of the top 4 is, I mean, an incredible return for them, and I mean, it's a good start.
7 views.
They make tonight the 4th appearance in the 3rd place match as South Africa have to turn their lines and give Ghana an opportunity to punish them here. Referee right on the scene, rules no penalty. Motlakwana has bags of pace and she bursts onto this one beautifully, but it's an extra piece of defending from Buake, realizing that she wasn't going to get there first, knew that she needed to track the first touch and intercept. Intervene she did, and danger averted.
Yeah, good piece of defending.
Yellow,
That's where
yellow,
experience
yellow.
comes in. She's the leader of the team, I mean, one of the oldest players on the team, and it was a good anticipation from her. I waited for the attacker to have a touch on the ball before getting in front of her to actually get a better part of her. Good piece of defending.
Moshafana becomes the second player into the book, the first from a South African perspective. Ghana yet to lose a bronze medal match. Beat Zimbabwe handily in 2006-3. Managed to dispatch Ethiopia in the third place playoff in 2004. That was on penalties, and then more recently South Africa in 2016. So if they were able to turn this one around and win a fourth bronze as they seek the leveler here, away for the time being, and give them a fourth bronze medal. They're currently tied with Cameroon, who have 3. More importantly though, just in the grander scheme of things, you look back across their WAFCON history, it would mark their 7th overall top 3 finish. By the way, angle was closing, and there's some good defensive work done by Kamete as well.
Good job, good piece of defending there by Kamete. She's really been on her bell since she came on.
Google Glass, come on for there. I'm not giving up.
So far, it's another excellent one, and for the third time in this match, a well-met set piece goes flying past the upright. This time it's Evelyn Badu. In fact, Badu again.
Yeah, Badu again.
Twice since coming on.
Yeah, for the second time, she's made contact with those balls, and I think now it's not about making contact, it's actually about having a direction for those balls, and once she can get that right, I think she will pick back up the net.
Well, South Africa living a little dangerously as they seek their 3rd bronze medal. It's actually the 6th time that they are appearing in a 3rd place playoff. They lost back in 2002 to Cameroon, went down 3-0. But they did beat Cameroon 4 years later on penalties in 2006. And in 2010, managed a 2-0 win against them before losing against Côte d'Ivoire in 2014 by a goal to 0, and Ghana in 2016 by the same scoreline. Little flip from Jermaine Simpson. Josephine Bonsu getting that one clear. Siposenwe. She is capable with both feet, but from that kind of range, opted against firing it towards goal with her left. Evelyn Badu gliding away from Motlakwane. And the flick from the Sekwa-born Badu sets Ghana on their way. Narupeya, Oishloka, Sakaki delivery, and
Go! Go!
Have found a deserved equalizer.
Go! Let's go! Another go from Ghana.
An avenue that has been very testing for South Africa up to this point, and that is a delivery from out wide, and perhaps who has been the liveliest on the park for Ghana at the very least, but possibly for one team. Alice Kusi is claiming it.
Yeah, it was Kusi's goal. I mean, Ghana, they've pushed everything forward. They've been sending in those aerial balls. But you look at good delivery and good contest from Kusi, and I mean, she's been Ghana's top scorer in this tournament, getting another goal to her name, 3 goals. She scored more goals than every other Ghanaian player on the field. What a well-deserved equalizer, because they've really been pushing for it to finally get it.
Michael Dana's own goal comes off the upright and looked as though it might have been heading out and not in, and it's off the glove of Andile Dlamini. I wouldn't be surprised if it's ruled an own goal, but the player who, of course, made it happen is Alice Kusi, and she has been absolutely superb this evening.
She has been one of Ghana's top players tonight.
So just over 20 minutes to go. The scores are level. Oh, a beautiful flick from Sipho Senwe, and a lovely bit of reactionary defending there from Susan Dua, preventing Linda Motlala from taking that one cleanly. Susan Dua defending number 24 this evening. Now Hiro Magaya in behind, and Dua, having just made that very timely intervention moments ago, he has brought down Hiro Magaya. I think there were some mitigating factors here if you apply the rules of DOCSO. There were 2 covering runners, but with that being said, Hiro Magaya appeared to have a clean route to goal and wasn't all too far out from goal either. So perhaps on review we'll see whether this call is a good one for Armani. Possibly.
Yeah, it was a good one, and well deserved yellow card, considering the fact that Dua is not the last defender. This is where, in situations like this, Magaya is usually a threat. If she had gone ahead with that ball, perhaps something would have come out of it. But then, Boachi could have, she should have dealt with that ball. That was a very terrible defending from the player of that caliber. Although it's a difficult one to deal with, as well, but in good position behind you.
Well, Rafua Janet scored from a free kick, albeit a very different position, against Mali for her 17th international goal and her first in a away run since 2018. Stands over this one now. Can she deliver the same kind of quality that she managed during the group stages? It did take a deflection off the wall, so a corner to come.
Ghana don't need smash it. Ghana don't need smash. I swear to God, Ghana don't need it.
That was hitting on top and it had been well struck.
That kind of great glass.
Because the goalkeeper had some serious issues. Had the wall not stood firm like that. Well, it comes from Magaya. Marky appeared to get her head on it. Jermaine Sipperson. Only one player waiting in the box. Now Hilda Magai has trudged into the 18-yard area, joined Motlakwaila. Ghana very well to prevent South Africa from filling something in. Olweniso, Sipho Segwe, lovely little turn. Good battle on that far side. There's an opportunity here, but only if numbers can arrive in time. In the end, there's nothing more than a goal kick. This is a look at the equalizer goal. I think that will go down as an own goal.
Yeah, looks like that.
That means that South Africa will not set a new national team record for 4 clean sheets at a single AFCON tournament.
That's not happening.
What they very well could achieve in the final quarter hour, because this game has become very open, is currently at 9 goals to hit double figures in terms of goals for a third straight tournament. Esane held back. Rocky a little bemused. Strong ball forward from Wakia. Just seemed to be slightly off balance as she connected with that.
Yeah, looks like she slipped. But then again, let's see that again. I mean, South Africa should learn how to play all this area of balls, because Ghana seems to be having the final decision on this area of balls. And Agua and Badu, they've had an insane impact since coming onto this second half, and they've really corrected.
Wakia striding forward, laying the ball out wide. They're very quick to get numbers into the box. Adobaya, moments after sending her shot wide, loops ahead at just over. He's playing her football out in Turkey. Trabzonspor before the move to the UAE. There's a look at her earlier effort, which wasn't all too far away. Nigeria in the semi-finals ended a 15-match unbeaten run in open play. We're careful to point out open play because over that period they did lose in the 2018 final to Nigeria on penalties. But that unbeaten streak has come to an end now.
I mean, it's no doubt South Africa, they've had an insane progress. They've made an insane progress with which is really Spain at the end of affairs. They've really done well in recent years.
They have an opportunity tonight to finish in the top 3 for an 8th time. Would mark 3 successive finishes in the top 3, which is something that they did achieve between 2006 and 2012. But what they have done, just by simply making it to the semi-finals, is managed a top 4 finish for a 9th straight tournament. So since 2012, they have at the very least made the semis, which has effectively meant making it out of their group. Now this is looking good. Super Serie can't force their way through. Scoring after having so many chances and squandering so many chances does kind of mirror their tournament. They came into this game with 25 shots across their 5 games, just 6 goals scored. Their conversion rate was only 9%, as Magai forces a corner here, which was the lowest across any of the teams that made it to the semi-finals. And again tonight, you know, they needed so many chances for 4-1 eventually went in.
This only shows how much attack defensively they need to combat those chances, because in a game like this, that can actually come back to bite you. And they need to learn to combat those chances.
Janet. Okay, to go direct from the corner. A little lucky up to this point.
That was a very terrible challenge, and good decision for her. Then I think she needs to be careful at this point, because Ghana can afford to lose a player of quality.
Ghana are in fact the side that committed the most fouls at this tournament than any other team. South Africa came to this game having committed under 50 fouls, which was the fewest among those that made it to the semi-finals. So all of those that played 5 games. Yeah, they had previously won the Fair Play Award. I think the previous edition, or if not that, in 2018. So the team keeps it relatively tidy.
Yeah, that speaks to the physicality of the Ghanaian side and also the technicality of the South African side. Because South Africa, they are more on the technical side, you know, and Ghana is more on the physical side, and that explains the statistics of fouls committed and more and against.
It was nice to spot yourself on the Jumbotron here at the Lahadi Valley Stadium. got the equalising goal. It was only his fifth of her international career. She's not a regular goal scorer.
That was a good head return by Somisewe. Bane should have done better with that ball, but goalkeeper did a very good job at closing her down and perhaps put more pressure on her. That is why she couldn't connect very well with that ball. So Somisewe, good return, good header from her.
Well, if indeed it was the presence of the goalkeeper that put Mane off, then that intervention has come. That's some personal inspection was done for a moment, but there were a couple of players down. Mohamed Passadid making way. And Donnelly coming on now. 3 substitute appearances, all during the group stages. She did not appear in the knockouts. The youngest member of the squad, 21 years of age. Susan Durk, not only is she limping off, but she's also on a yellow card. Forced off the field here. Louisa Aniwa, 22-year-old, is playing football out in Portugal. Originally from Kumasi. As they're coming on to replace her. Training the first minutes of the tournament in what are the final 5 or so minutes of Ghana's campaign.
Or perhaps more if they go into one and 20 minutes.
No, straight to penalties. Oh, given away. Donnelly's first involvement. It's caused all kinds of panic in the backline. She's a really big presence up there, up top for South Africa.
Yeah, good fight, good pressure from her. You know, making her impact immediately, and that was a good fight.
Probably a similar size comparatively to Doris Barua, who is the tallest outfield player that went off at half-time for Ghana.
Yeah.
From a South African perspective, Ronald Donnelly is at least amongst the forwards and the midfielders the most physically imposing of the players that they have available to them. Laskin Kokotrin getting a dressing down from the match referee Shahid Mahrabi. Mahrabi actually oversaw Mamelodi Sundowns' first ever CAF Women's Champions League match. As that header takes the ball away from its intended target, Mahrabi. Now she does have it though. Sipelsen. Johnny. Motlalo. Gets a toe on the ball, finding Motlakwana. Plenty of numbers up for Banyana. Ramalepe. Back with Ghana. And Faru. Asking a little bit too much of Adolbea. my guy. There's Jermaine Sippel-Sedgwick. Rafil-Lejan. Ramalepe now. Donnelly to aim for. Still, she hangs on to it. Damini finds the feet of Magaya. She gets it back from Bamana Mbane. Into the final minute of regulation time here. Moshakwan. Motlana. Sippel-Sedgwick. Josephine Bonsu. Katal Bajane. Hilda Magaya. The flag is staying down, at least for the time being. And a shot rifled wide of goal. Beto run beautifully as Ramalepe plays on.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like she was offside initially, but Ramaleta plays her on, and that was a good effort, a decent effort, but should have been on target.
A hefty chunk of additional time, half a dozen minutes. This game still there for the taking. That's been a grueling knockout stage for both of these sides. They had to come through extra time in the quarterfinal ties. South Africa were beaten inside 90 minutes by Nigeria, so it's Ghana who have more minutes on their legs, and in fact a starting 11 who played more frequently, whereas South Africa over the course of the campaign have freshened things up. They made 4 changes from match day 1 to 2, and then 5 changes in 1 change, and 2 changes in 5 again. Whereas Ghana have been a little bit more circumspect in terms of their alterations. Now they look to capitalize. Flies across goal to make sure that she prevents any potential danger materializing here. And it's claiming, yeah, she pulled her hand away so as not to give away the corner.
Experience of the goalkeeper of caliber comes in. She saw that it was going off target, and didn't want to put more pressure on the team by handling that ball, stopping from getting over. So that was a good
Well, there's only ever been one bronze medal match. It's ended 1-1. That was in 2008. Nigeria, who were the defending champions, taking on Cameroon in that match and winning 5-4 on penalties.
wrong foot, he dropped her favorite and straight into the hands of Poland.
Well taken down by Bonsu, the front boy Clocker. Now it's Asantewa driving forward, Motlalo has it. I can't ride the challenge. Ball nicked away from him by Alice Kusi. Gets the return pass here. Kusi. Motlalo by Gamede with just Ronald Donnelly to aim for. Corner. Cuts it out. Donnelly. Born in Wentworth, South Africa's east coast in KwaZulu-Natal. Started playing football for her father's team, Shooting Stars. Now playing football for the University of the Western Cape. To exploit, but Ghana track back hurriedly. About a minute remaining. Adobang, been a real nuisance since she came on. Now the ball squirted through here for the winner. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Kusi has it. Twice they were denied by the woodwork on match day 1. And again, it's come to the aid of South Africa in the dying seconds of this battle for bronze.
Fadu have looked the most likely in this guy's side, and since she came on, she's been pushing, and she was just unlucky. She was denied by the woodwork there. They should have buried her.
The referee clearly points to the ball to say, I'm playing advantage here. Evident Fadu beats Dlamini, but the woodwork to the rescue.
What a good out that's been.
Yeah, and in fact, that was practically the final moment of the game. And so, here come the Trinidad spot kicks.
I think they're about to take the penalty now.
Carlos Ntandi on the stroke of half time. Who opened the scoring after a mistake from Cynthia Conlon and some hard work from the departing Jermaine Siposenwe. They equalised in the second period, a combination of Alice Kusi's hard work, Andile Dlamini and the crossbar, as well as Bamanani Mbani and her despairing attempt to keep it out. Evelyn Mbani was emotional at the moment because she knows it was a really great opportunity to win the game. And it is level. Seems to be in charge here of determining what order these spot kicks will be taken. Desiree Anderson's reaction seems to imply that there's an unwillingness now for anyone else to step up and take responsibility because they seem to be struggling to find further takers. Tell us a little bit about how those huddles, those penalty decisions usually go. I would imagine that they're can sometimes be very tense conversations, especially if you run out of willing takers.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually a very difficult moment because sometimes now tensions are usually high and now you say the leadership of the team, this is where it comes into play, and the responsibility now comes from all the players, and you have to take responsibility, step up and lead your team to victory, and everyone has to, if it gets to that where everybody has to step up and play, you won't have any other choice than to come up and do what is required of you. But moments like this is usually tough. Some players are not confident in themselves to actually step up to do it. But when you're left with no choice, you have to do what you have to do.
First time in 17 years that a bronze medal match of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations will be decided on spot kicks. The last time that happened was when Equatorial Guinea hosted in 2008, won the title against South Africa. It was Nigeria and Cameroon in the third place match. Nigeria ultimately triumphing 5-4 on penalties, but there have been a few instances prior to that. In fact, 4 times in total across 12 previous bronze medal matches had they been decided on penalties, and those 4 times all falling within the first 6 editions of the tournament. Linda Motlhalo will be the first taker. She was already off the field injured in the quarterfinal when they went to penalties against Senegal, so couldn't take a spot kick, but has scored 2 from the spot already this tournament. And in fact, the majority of her WAFCON goals over the course of her career have been from the penalty mark. So she was a lucky first taker, considering that she's still on the park here. Of the 4 successful takers against Senegal, only 1 is on the field. That's Mbane. Dlamini Makubela and Salgado all took penalties against Senegal, all stuck them away, all excellent penalties. And none of them present currently.
And talking about Motlhalo's 2 penalty goals, one was actually against Ghana in the match we won.
It was indeed, yeah. The opening goal for South Africa at this tournament. In shootouts though, Motlhalo has failed previously, famously in the 2018 final.
Go!
Now she gets it absolutely right. That is her preferred place to put the spot kick, and it's so well placed that even had Conlon gone diving across goal, it's unlikely she would have got anything on that.
That was brilliantly dispatched.
So in their previous 2 knockout matches, it has been Josephine Bonsu who has taken and dispatched Ghana's first kick. Now this time, Boy Floka. Oh, she's denied. Andile Dlamini for the 3rd time in this tournament, twice against Senegal, and now the opening kick in the bronze medal match against Ghana has saved. She did convert against Algeria but you can't against South Africa.
Damn, that's crazy. Ghana is going on. Damn.
Bamanani Mane struck an absolute corker into the top corner to win the shootout against Senegal. This time she's tasked with taking kick number 2. And the edge is already with South Africa. The Ghanaian fans trying to create as much distracting noise as they can, but she will not be deterred, not one bit. And South Africa lead 2-0 in the shootouts with a Black Queen's kick to come.
That was well put.
Both players have gone the same side for South Africa.
Yeah, and made the goalkeeper Kolan didn't stand a chance. There's no way she could have guessed right where the ball was going. The same direction with Linda Mukad.
Alice Kusi did convert against Morocco. In fact, she took the second kick after Bonsu had scored the first. They were initially level before things went awry for them. And this, she gets right as well, so they stay in it. It would have been a shame for her to miss after such a fabulous outing tonight.
Exactly. She's been one of Ghana's best players tonight, and what a way to end it for herself tonight. That was well taken.
Strides up to the penalty mark. She's a bit of a set-piece specialist. She's good from this kind of range. Know her hold. Slowly sidles up and her penalty is saved. Well, overcome with relief is Chantal Boyd-Walker. Things are level again. And often, when players over-elaborate on the run-up, this is the result.
It is actually. It is. I mean, Kolano can actually, against Algeria in the quarterfinal, she made a couple of saves and she tended to continue from there. And but then again, that was a very poor penalty from Burundi.
To grab the advantage, which they duly do, Josephine Bonsu, who has now scored from the spot in 3 successive penalty shootouts, makes no mistake, with an excellent pen.
It was, and now they are back on level.
So it's 2-2 after 3 kicks apiece. Hilda Magaya. 3 years ago, starring in the final against Morocco. Now, trying to help her team to bronze. Oh, Magaya's denied. Well, what was she trying to do there? A simply bizarre choice in terms of taking the kick. She's got it all wrong. I think she tried to disguise what foot she was going to take it with.
Yes, I mean, it looks like it was indecision on her part. perhaps she thought the goalkeeper would, move and for her to slot it in the middle, but then it's a very poor penalty from her.
This looks eerily similar to Ghana against Morocco, just in terms of the opening 2 spot kicks going in and then it all falling apart. To give Ghana the advantage, Dlamini saves, and it is level once again. So after 8 spot kicks taken, just 4 have been successful, as Jennifer Kucho is the latest to be denied.
But I think there's going to be a replay. Dlamini seemed to have gone off her line before the play.
There was a hint of it in the earlier kicks from both goalkeepers, and this is the first one that's actually resulting in a retake. Will Jennifer Kucho make sure this time around? She does. The advantage lies with Ghana, and South Africa have to score now. It is Jermaine Sifosenwe. With the last kick of her Banyana career, hoping not to strike a bad chord on her South Africa swan song. Sifosenwe keeps them in it. And the pressure returns to Andile Dlamini.
That was well done. Well done, good no stress, good finish, good goal by Sifosenwe. Her last kick for Banyana.
It is clear there that Dlamini had left her line, so quick decision. Relief flooded over Chantal Boyflock a little earlier on. And now she watches in anticipation as the player Broughton, who didn't kick the ball during regulation time, brought on for this one.
Ghana don't win.
Shoots it away.
Ghana don't win.
Nancy Amoa.
Ghana don't win.
20 or so minutes
Yeah, come over
in the
there. Hey,
tournament
Ghana don't win.
up to this point
Ghana don't win. Fuck.
has scored
They tried to deserve one.
the winning penalty, the teenager, and Ghana claim bronze.
They beat South Africa. Jesus.
Dlamini tried to stretch full length, but then the ball went behind the it's the winning goal for Ghana. South Africa. Maybe having lost the chance to defend the trophy against Nigeria, winning the silverware would have been ideal for the defending champions, but then again they finished because they fought short of the silverware. Congratulations to Ghana, they did everything they fought for this and they went their way.
Well, Ghana,
Guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel for tomorrow match. Stay tuned.
were dumped out in the group
Damn.
stages back in